I was going to do my video tomorrow, but I'm going to be really, really busy tomorrow. I guess I'll have time to go to talk on my way over to the Meadows and the way back. It's going to be a pretty tough day tomorrow. I got to get up at 5:45. Ollie has to go in, I don't know, has to go into the school early tomorrow for some sort of club thing. And Ava also has to go to school early. Ollie can't go in the school until 10 to 7. Ava can't go in the school until 20 after 7. They're in different schools, as you know. So I have to get up early, take Ollie to school, take Ava to school, and then come back for the normal drop-off time for Adeline. Then I'm going to go to the Meadows. I'm going to race 1, 5, and 6. I got Jason to pick up Addie and Ollie after school. Amy's away this week. She's a family wedding. I'm going to pick up Ava on the way back from the Meadows. The school is not far off the highway. We're all going to convene at Northfield Park, but only for a minute. I'm going to drive them both, all 3 of them home for supper. And then I have to come back and seemingly, I guess, race all night. It looks like I have 12 drives. Not a good day for the 12 drives stuff, but I said I'd come, so I'll come. I talked about the afternoon we had. I talked about the buckets, talking more about the buckets coming up, but we did have some horses racing tonight. I think goes without saying, Peter's miscues only solidified his position in the stable, which is soon to be unemployed. He's definitely going in the sale on Monday. No particular reason for the breaks. I'm trying to think in my head, this is a decent class. If he races really well, maybe, he gets a reprieve. That certainly didn't last very long. Makes a break in the first term for no reason. Again, at the 3/8 for even less of a reason. And solidified himself as a free agent, so to speak. Then I went to warm up Blue Ventura. I'm glad I went with him. He was coughing in the warm up. It is what it is. I came in and the horse ate his supper. Everybody said he was fine. There was no issues, but it was pretty clear. 3 or 4 times he coughed. I looked at him in the stall and a little bit of mucus in his nose. So we can't race this horse. They'd scratch him. No, I told everybody we got to do what's right by the horse, so we scratched him. I've told you we're still trying to put weight back on this horse. We need to be far, far more aggressive with feeding him. And I've spoke to all the caretakers in the barn, but I just want to make sure, and this may be just him starting down that path, but I want to make sure that he's getting the way we like to do it for the horses that are a little light. Try to keep it as easy as we can. They get their breakfast, they jog, and then they get a bran mash at 10 o'clock, and they come back with another one at noon. If you can have them eating those 2 bran mashes and supper, it's only a matter of time before they put weight on, unless there's something wrong with them. So we'll take, I guess, the next week to work on that weight and work on getting him healthy again. I don't think it was anything too serious. We'll draw blood to make sure, but just a little sickness. Not a big deal. Come right back out. Well, I guess that was the race after Dios at Aladanza. I warmed her up, and I had said right after I warmed her up, I said, this filly will jog. She just feels great. I had said after, I was talking to, I forget who I was talking to. I was talking to Eddie Miller. And we were just talking about the summer, and he too, same thing, said he had some issues with illness, with allergies, and most definitely with liver counts that were getting a little elevated. It's frustrating, but as I said, it certainly isn't lost on any stable. You can be sure of that. And I told him, I said, it was after the race. He said, man, that's Sipping on Sea Rock's sister. I said, yeah, it is. He said, man, she looked really, really good. I said, she qualified as a powerhouse in June, but very green, jumping over stuff, being dumb, pulling and lugging, just being an immature filly learning how to race. But they have to learn how to race, right? She can overpower horses, but that's not racing. It will eventually level out, right? You'll get in with horses that you cannot just overpower and beat up. She jumped over stuff. She was a little bit sick. Her allergies were hurting her. She bled once. I think we put her on Lasix, so I'm not mistaken. It's right here. Pretty sure we did put her on Lasix. Did we not? 7. I don't think it says there. Maybe we did. Anyway, we had a number of little issues that we had to overcome with Diosa Della Danza. And her last start, I know a lot of people said, Anthony, geez, it looked like she jumped over something in Scioto. I don't know. I can only go by what the driver says. Kane Kaufman swears she grabbed a shoe. He was well aware of her past infractions, things she's done, things she can do. And he was very adamant that it was not that she grabbed a shoe. I warmed her up tonight, and I knew as soon as I come off the track, they were going to have to go a big mile to beat this filly. I know some horse in there showed 53 at Scioto, though. I mean, Scioto just was so hard to calculate true miles when looking at Scioto's miles. You know, trying to equate them to what that would be at Northfield. It's very, very hard to do. But Diosa Della Danza got away well. Kurt moved to the front. She sat right on his helmet. And I moved her out. She just attacked. 55-3 on a fairly chilly evening. That wasn't frigid. I still had a short sleeve suit on. I would say in Celsius it might have been 16, 17. So I guess that'd be what, 60, high 60s, almost 70, right? Yeah. Somewhere around there tonight at Northfield Park. And but she just looked good, felt good. At no point in the mile, at no point in the evening after I warmed her up did I think she could lose. Now, I didn't realize until I heard him say, come back to the winner's circle, she paid 16-1. Not that I care. I don't matter. It doesn't matter to me. But, for our clients, I really thought that she was in a good way tonight. So, for those of you that bet her, congratulations. For those of you that own her, congratulations. She raced very, very good. And then I almost called him Shamrock. Winter Soldier. Somebody said, geez, I don't know if he's ready for the Open. Just so we're abundantly clear, the Open at Northfield is a step down in class from where he was racing at the Meadowlands. Now, Longshot's a nice horse. Aaron's horse on the outside, nice horse. Ronnie's horse, nice horse. But Winter Soldier's no slouch. And I still don't think he's mechanically correct. I think his feet sting him a little bit. I think his knees are bothering him a little bit. He was over on the left shaft a little bit. Dr. Natessa has to do some work on him. That's for sure. And we are working on his GGT. It was high his last start. And you can see it was just outside high normal. We did get it down a little bit. And he was stronger today. If you're watching closely, we don't wear a head check on him. Going to the gate, he was throwing his head and he pulled both his earplugs out. Well, I'm not going to cause a recall to put earplugs back in. So they just remained out. If I had them to pull getting out of the last turn, do I get them? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But he certainly raced really, really well. Second and 54-4, and he drops down to an hour's 8,000. I don't need to race him in the Open right now, and we are not going to continue to race him in the Open right now. So if they're not going to fill an hour's 8, no problem. They'll just race somewhere else. Really happy with Winter Soldier. I like this guy. Nice horse. And he was on the front last week. He was better today, but you can tell he doesn't love the front as much as he likes following. I can tell you that after driving him. Now, I guess I drove him when his liver was a little high, so let's compare it another day. To me, he was better tonight. Let's leave it at that. Very happy with the way he raced tonight. He looked good, felt good, and was good. So, little unfortunate luck having to scratch Blue Ventura. And listen, he's a fearless Peter. You're going to have to lay in the bed you made now. He's most definitely in the sale on Monday. Now, tomorrow, I only have Looks Like Money. You know what? I knew that was it. I don't have one. These are all catch drives tomorrow night. All of them. looks like Money, our only horse tomorrow. If you missed my video from this afternoon, I know I do them frequently, so it's easy to miss one or two here or there. Aunt Lily is out for Thursday. She's not going to race on Thursday. Her blood work was just not great, and we're not gonna race her. Especially, we're not gonna risk it as her next start's going to be the Buckeye. For those of you that are saying, "Well, is she going to be tight enough?" Don't worry, she'll be plenty tight for the Buckeye at on Jug Week. In Jug Week, Manhattan Money will be going down there. We got a ride down for him, so I'm just going to scoot down in the evening, drive him and him alone, and come right back. I was very happy with the way he trained today too. And then Delicious Stone DK on Thursday, up a class with the 8-hole. Now, if he can do in here, they're going to continue to print money, because if they didn't want him for 15, they most definitely don't want him for 25. So we'll see. A light week up until now. There's no stakes this week, I don't think. So a lot of our 2-year-olds are on the shelf, just going easy for the week. We got some horses getting ready to go. Agent Black, we're just waiting for the green light from DNA to qualify him. He's ready to rock now. Royal Duchess, we're looking to get her raced also. Where are we going to race her? Somewhere in the next week, I think 6 days before. She's going to Jug Week in a fair race. So 6 days before that, we'll race her in a fair somewhere. We have a number of horses entered for Saturday. Now, I changed my mind tonight. I booked off Saturday night at Northfield. I'm not going to drive Foxy Seaside. She drew the 8-hole. Corey Kreiser's going to drive her. He doesn't usually drive that much, but good horseman, knows what he's doing. And I told him, I said, you're just going to drive her like a trotter. She's a nice filly. She's been good, and I think we're going to make some changes that are going to help her this week. But I'm fine with Corey driving her from post 8. I was going to go to Scioto, but changed my mind. Ronnie Wren is going to drive 3 Point Blue Chip. Why do I keep calling him that? Time is on my side. That's like the 5th time I've called him that. Ronnie Wren is going to drive Time is on my side. Now, Amy's away, as I said, at a wedding this week, a family wedding. So I have the kids. Now, you guys know I love baseball, and there's nothing that I can really bring to the table when Time is on my side that Ronnie Wren can't. Right? It's a good bunch of horses. And Dave Bolus was right. I apologize, Dave. You're 100% correct. He said, Anthony, I don't think you're going to get in the Ewart. I said, Dave, come on. Horse got $350,000 made U.S. Life. He's got 104 made this year. He's going to get in the Ewart. No, he didn't. You were right. I was wrong. But they did write a $40,000 or $50,000 open. They're good horses too. No joke there. But Ronnie Wren didn't have a horse in the race. I immediately looked to see if Dexter could drive him. He had 2 in there already. So Ronnie did not. I said, hey, would you drive that horse? Now, I'm going to drive all day at Saturday at the Meadows. We have like 4 or 5 that we've entered. And I'm going to take the kids with me, and then we're going to go watch a ball game afterwards. We're going to go to the Pittsburgh game. Paul Skeens, if you watch baseball, or if you don't live under a rock, Paul Skeens, one of the best pitchers in baseball. He is going to be on the mound Saturday night in Pittsburgh playing Milwaukee, who's the best team in baseball right now. We've been, myself and the kids and Amy, have been to that ballpark one time, briefly for the later innings after a game, after a day at the Meadows. We stopped on the way home to watch Ellie Dela Cruz play. Ollie liked him, so actually Ava wanted to go, Ollie wanted to go, Addie not so high on it, but she buckled and said she would. So I was either going to be asked to go drive Time is on my side. He's probably going to be 8 or 10 to 1, right? All good horses in there, but given the opportunity to let somebody like Ronnie Wren drive your horse too. Like, I looked, Aaron's driven him before, Ronnie, anybody can drive Time is on my side. Just put him in a good spot. You're going to need a little luck. Put him in a good spot and try and win with him. So Ronnie will drive him on Saturday. I'll be at the Meadows. I'm not coming to Northfield. Just me, just Dad and the kids. I had said it in a video not that long ago. It's becoming abundantly clear. And with Oliver finishing his baseball in Ontario, and that whole portion of our life, really. 4 or 5 years we've spent with this team, and kind of closing off that loop of that part of our life. It becomes abundantly clear how quickly he's growing up and how easy stuff is missed. Now, if you're a young parent, you don't get it, because I didn't. If you're a grandparent or your kids are out of the house, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You always hear people say, try to miss as little as you can because they grow up fast. Just stuff like that. Right? That fortune cookie stuff. But at some point, you realize they really do grow up fast. And I'm okay with that. But I do want to take the time I can. Any times that I can just spend with them and watch them being kids. Yeah, I want to do that. Whether that's, going away for the weekend, or whether, that's after work at the Meadows, stopping at a baseball game in Pittsburgh for the evening. That's something I feel is just, at this point in my life, I am 48, right? It's different when you're 38. It's different when you're 40. Even different when you're mid-40s. But I'm starting to feel it now, and I'm starting to realize that these are things that make up your life. I guess that's kind of whatever. I just felt that given the opportunity of racing at Northfield, racing Time Is On My Side in the Open at Scioto, or taking my children to the Pittsburgh game to watch a baseball game, I chose the latter. So hopefully Ronnie gets along well with him. I can't imagine he wouldn't and won't. Hopefully he does well. We should have a number of horses racing on Saturday, and excited about the weekend. So wherever you are, we did have a good night tonight. Just beating the Open with Winter Soldier. We were lucky enough, I bought him to be a good horse, but I didn't know if he'd get around a half. Turns out he gets around a half very, very well. So great job there. We got a win, a long overdue. It wasn't a stake race. It wasn't a staging point for a resurgence in the Sire Stakes, but it was a win. It was a 2-year-old mark of 55-2 for a filly that appears to be coming around. I can't wait to race her in Delaware, but I also know there's about 1.2 million shadows on the track. So I'll tell you one thing. Might need a bigger shadow roll for Delaware. I can tell you that right now. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Jug Week is coming. The Jug Sale is coming. Sale season is here. I cannot believe it. Feels like they robbed us of like 3 weeks of summer, doesn't it? I just feel like I've been shorted summer somehow. Well, it's all here now. So, I will talk to you soon. Maybe some big news tomorrow. We're looking at a number of horses. I didn't stop looking. As we move these horses out, we're going to try to bring some fresh blood into the stable. It's worked very, very well over the past 3 weeks. I think that trend will continue with Allure next week. A week from Wednesday is when she's slated to make her debut out of the barn. But for right now, I'm all done. It's going to be a very long, very busy, very taxing day tomorrow. But you know what? That's the job. Take care. Talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your night. All 17 minutes of it.